Good morning. So I'm at Little Manatee State Park and I'm going to do a quick hike. It's about 6.5 miles through. Have a day without the kids, so what better way to spend it than out in nature, have a little bit of mommy time. The nice thing about this park is it's not too crowded. There's only 3 cars, one of them's mine. It is a little close to a main road, but we'll be hiking away from it. So let's do this. So it's $5 per vehicle to hike. There is more to the park if you go to the main entrance. I'm going to go on and pick up a map here so I can follow the trail, or at least have an idea. I've been here before. I know it's 6.5 miles, but there are some smaller loops in here. So good to have it. Here we go. Now, I don't believe that this trail is part of the actual Florida Trail that runs from the Everglades all the way up to Georgia, but it is maintained by the Florida Trail Association, which means it's pretty nice. It's a wilderness trail, so everything's not going to be perfect, but it is maintained. You can see there are some new boards here on this little boardwalk. This part of Florida, things are often a little swampy during the wet season. It is the dry season, but things are still not 100% dry because it is early in the wet season. So it's a little muddy, but not as bad as it would be if we were out here in the height of summer. And look at those mushrooms. So we've come to the trailhead. There is a 6.2 mile loop. We can go that way, which I think will put us through more open area, or we can go this way. And it'll take us along the river, a bit more shaded. It's a loop, so we have to do it either way. It's not too terribly sunny, and it's still pretty cool, so I think we're going to start off by going this way. Get the open part done before it gets too warm. Hopefully it doesn't get too terribly warm to begin with, but do it while it's cool. Let's go. You can see the blaze there on the tree. Tells us we're still on the path. We're just starting off, so hopefully it's easy to follow the path. Don't think this system of trails really needs too many blazes, because looking at the map it looks like a pretty straightforward trail, but it's always good to be able to see the blazes and know you're heading the right way. And now we're coming into the scrubland kind of part of the hike. You can see all the palmettos. It's just a sea of them out there. Still get a little bit of traffic sound out here, but the quiet is still nice, and you can sort of tune out the traffic sounds. Again, this trail is really well marked. You can see the yellow blazes. I think even though this trail is very well maintained and easy to follow, the blazes are probably so important because there are fire breaks through the trails that connects one trail to another. So if you're looking to catch a fire break over to another trail, these blazes will let you know you've made it to the trail of interest, or at least that you're on a trail and not just a fire break. You can see some of the water plants here. It's dry, but it is a little swampy during the wet season, as a lot of Florida is. I'm glad I chose to do this part of the hike first because, like I said, it's earlier in the morning, so it's still fairly cool, but because I'm hiking, my body temperature is rising. I'm getting a little warm, and I'd hate to think of how warm this might be with the sun beating down on me at noon or so. This is certainly a lovely Florida scrubland kind of trail. I'm keeping my eyes out for gopher tortoises. This is their sort of habitat, so if I see any, I'll try to show them to you. Okay, so I've come to this cross trail. It says primitive camp 1.4 that way, and trailhead 0.9 that way. Trailhead doesn't make a whole lot of sense because trailhead is supposed to be, whole trail is supposed to be 6.2 miles, and I know I've done less than 5 miles. I think I'm supposed to go to the primitive camp over this way to continue on my big loop because this is the Blue Cross Trail, and I know I've been hiking on the yellow trail. I think we need to consult my map, make sure that I'm hiking in the right direction to get my full 6 miles and change. Not so much that matters the distance I get, but I want to make the most valuable use of my time and not just be like restarting a whole bunch of trails. So let's check out the map. Okay, so we parked here, I hiked in, and I chose to go this way. I haven't been noticing any numbers. It says here, spur and cross trails are blaze blue. So I'm thinking we might be here at this line to cross over, but I'm not 100% certain. So I do think I'm going to continue on towards the primitive campground, because I know that is the path for the long loop, which is what I want to do. So we're just going to keep on trekking, and hopefully heading towards the primitive campground should take me on this long outside loop. And I'll just miss this little part in here. Yep, remembering the map, we are definitely going the right direction to do the long loop. Here's something a bit unexpected. An elevation change. And I'm putting air quotes on that, but in Florida, this is definitely an elevation change. I know, I've hiked on the AT. I know that this is nothing. But here it's something, because Florida is flat. And this is where we cross Cypress Creek, I believe. This must be Cypress Creek. It's too small to be the Little Manatee. I know the other side of the trail walks past the Little Manatee, so let's continue on. I think we'll cross Cypress Creek one more time to get back to the parking lot if we keep up on this loop, which is certainly my game plan. So, I have a question for you. Do you hike with your headphones in, listening to music, podcasts, whatever? Leave the comments down below. If you do, what do you listen to? When I'm out here, I personally like to just listen to the sounds around me of the natural world. My feet crunching on the leaves, the cicadas, the birds chirping. I'm coming up to like the furthest point in the hiking trail, so I can barely hear the cars, and sometimes I'm able to even mistake that for the sounds of the wind, and I'd miss all that if I was listening to the top 50 or whatever in my headphones. So, are you like me? Do you like to listen to the sounds of nature while you hike? Maybe listen to the thoughts in your head. I know personally this is my meditation time. It's different than like the religious meditation I do at work, do at church, but it is a type of meditation. I'm out here just myself, don't have to worry about the kids, they're at daycare, don't have to worry about the husband, he's at work, and I'm just able to be me and think about my life, think about what direction I want it to go in, just think and feel and smell. There's these fresh cut pines along this back part of the trail that smells fantastic. And now that I've just said I enjoy feeling so far removed from nature, I look over the tree line and I see houses. Look, it makes me sad. So maybe that's why this trail only goes so far back. But, oh well, keep trekking along, get back into nature. So maybe I'm not hearing the cars from the road back by where I parked, but I'm actually hearing the cars on the road from this community, this development. Here's what I was saying about it being a little muddy at times. You can see there's water. It's a little mucky there. There's high road here. It's still slick mud. And this again is the dry season. Beginning of it, but dry season nonetheless. Ground's a little soggy. You can hear a little bit of the moisture when you step down. This is such a pretty habitat. It's shaded enough that it's comfortable. You can hear the wind in the trees. But it's just so green and lush. The mud's nice and black. Just the colors are vivid through here. And I love these kind of habitats. This trail, a whole bit of it just sort of keeps going from dirt path to short boardwalk over a little swampy bit and then back to dirt trail. So here I've come across, or up to, not so much across, the Little Manatee River. And the trail will run along this until I get back to the beginning of the loop. Or we may part from it for a little bit, but not for too terribly long. We'll keep coming back to it until we make it to the parking lot. The Little Manatee River. well, boardwalk. Same difference, right? So we just crossed Cypress Creek again, and we are back on the front half of the loop. So if we would have done the crossroad trail, we would have been here a lot sooner. But we would have missed out on some of the more enjoyable time. Again, as you can see, it's more heavily shaded here. It's definitely cooler. The sun's gotten a bit more intense, but can't really tell too much in the shade. In the grand scheme of things, to do this hike, you have to pack for both type of environments. Sun protection, think cool, for the open half, and in this more heavily shaded half, you've definitely got to think about bug control, mosquito repellent. So both halves have their merits, and both halves make a great hike. And put together, I'm glad I did the whole loop. So that's it for my hike through Little Manatee State Park, the 6.2 mile loop off of 301. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I certainly enjoyed this hike. Great way to spend mommy's day off. The kids at daycare, hubby's at work, mommy's off of work, so why not come hike? If you stuck around this long, give the video a like. Fellow mommies, what do you like to do on your day off when you don't have kiddos to take care of? Leave the message below in the comments. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. Thanks guys, and I'll see you later. Bye. So I had been hoping that we would be hiking through more of that sort of environment than like the palmettos that we got to hike through. But all in all, great hike. Had a great time. Thanks for joining me, guys.